Hola, soy yo, Vicky, del Príncipe Center, otra vez. I hope you've been practicing lots of Spanish since the last video. What I'm going to look at today, in today's video, is actually in the Break the Language Barrier book, level 1. Again, I don't like keep repeating this, but there's new people watching all the time, so just to let you know, you don't need the book to follow the videos, but if you do want to buy the book, it's available on Amazon and on my website. And today we're looking at regular verbs, the first conjugation, which I'm going to explain about, AR verbs, and it's on page 31. So just in case you do have the book in front of you, we're on page 31 of Break the Language Barrier, level 1. Okay, so verbs. So as I think I have explained before, if you've seen any previous videos, what is a verb? A verb is a doing word. So a verb is something we do. And in English, all verbs start with to drink, to eat, to sleep, to study, etc. So when the verb has the to in front of it, in grammar, that's called the infinitive of the verb. All that means is it's the original verb before we do anything to it, before we put it into past tense or future tense or present tense, before we relate any person to it, in other words, before we conjugate it. So if you're saying to eat, doesn't refer to any person. It's not like I eat or he eats or we eat. Those are conjugated verbs. When it's got the to in front of it, it's the infinitive in English. In Spanish, there are 3 kinds of verbs, and every single verb in Spanish that exists ends in either AR, ER, or IR. So most verbs end in AR. So in Spanish grammar, that is known as the first conjugation. And the reason for that is that the most verbs of all end in AR. So it's the most common verb ending. Second most common are ER verbs, verbs ending in ER, and the third conjugation and the last conjugation, because there are only 3, are verbs that end in IR verbs. So today we're going to be looking at the first conjugation, which are AR verbs. And we're going to be looking at verbs that are called regular verbs. In other words, they have a pattern. They follow a pattern. So once you learn the way that pattern works, you can apply it to any other AR verb. So if we take the verb to speak, if we take it in English first, so to speak, that's the infinitive. That's the original verb, nothing been done to it whatsoever. That's the verb in its purest form. When we conjugate it, what conjugation means is when we put it into different persons. So for example, if we did that in English first, you've got the verb to speak, and if we conjugated it, you would have I speak, you speak, he, she, it speaks, we speak, yous speak, or the plural you. We don't have a plural you in English, so I always say yous just so that you know that I mean more than one person, even though it's not really a word. And then they speak. So what we've done there is we've taken the verb to be, the verb to speak, and we've conjugated it in the present tense. So we're just dealing with the present tense at the moment. So I speak, you speak, he, she, it speaks. That's the only one that changes in English. We speak, you speak, they speak. So you can see it's quite easy to conjugate a verb in English, because the only one that even changes is the third person plural, he, she, or it, where we add an S. So let's have a look at how we use that verb in Spanish. First of all, the verb to speak is hablar. So that's spelled Hablar. It's an AR verb. Probably many of you will have heard that verb spoken before because it's quite a common verb that's used. And it's a regular verb, so we'll learn how to conjugate that, and that will help us to conjugate other AR verbs. So, first thing we do when we need to conjugate a verb in Spanish is we take off that ending. So, as it's an AR verb, we take off the AR. And that leaves us with the root or the stem of the verb, which is habl, Habl. Remember, we don't pronounce the H's in Spanish. That's why we say hablar or hablar, not hablar. So we take off the AR. We then add on a different ending for each person. So for I speak, hablo. You speak, hablas, as. He, she, or it speaks, habla, with an A. We speak, hablamos. Yous, you lot speak, habláis. AIS with an accent on the A. And they speak, hablan, AN ending. So these are our endings. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. And those are the same endings for all regular AR verbs in the present tense. So, as each one is different for each person, we don't really need to say, if I was going to say, I speak Spanish, I just say, hablo español. I don't need to say, yo hablo español, because the I is not necessary because of the ending on the verb tells us everything we need to know. That is why verbs are so important in Spanish. So, hablo, I speak, hablas, you speak, habla, he, she, or it speaks, hablamos, we speak, habláis, you lot speak, hablan, they speak. Different ending for each person. Now, if you are following the book, what you'll see you had to do on page 22, I think it is. Yes, is it 22 or 32? Sorry, page 32. There's several verbs there that you had to find their meaning and then conjugate them. And then there were some sentences to translate. So, I'm going to go through the actual verbs and the conjugations. So, número uno, andar. Andar is to walk. Ando, andas, anda, andamos, andáis, andan. Número dos, bailar. To dance. Bailó, bailas, baila, bailamos, bailáis, bailan. Número tres, buscar. This is to look for or to search. Buscó, buscas, busca, buscamos, buscáis, buscan. Cantar, to sing. Cantó, cantas, canta, cantamos, cantáis, cantan. Número 5, estudiar, to study. Estudió, estudias, estudia, estudiamos, estudiáis, estudian. Y número 6, comprar, to buy. Compró, compras, compra. Compramos, compráis, compran. Número 7, escuchar, to listen to. Escuchó, escuchas, escucha, escuchamos, escucháis, escuchan. Esperar, número 8, which is to wait for. Espero, esperas, espera, esperamos, esperáis, esperan. Y llegar, to arrive. Llegó, llegas, llegar, llegamos, llegáis, llegan. Now remember the pronunciation of the double L. I'm never sure how to pronounce it because there's the South American way of pronouncing it, which is like a j, llegó, llegas. And then more in Spain is probably more of a y, llego, llegas, etc. So either of those is fine. Mirar, to look at. So this is número 10. Miro, miras, mira, miramos, miráis, miran. Llevar is to wear, to take, to carry, to take away. So a lot of meanings for llevar. Llevó, llevas, lleva, llevamos, lleváis, llevan. Then número 12, practicar. Practicó, practicas, practica, practicamos, practicáis, practican. Número 13, preparar, to prepare. Preparo, preparas, preparar. Sorry, I'll start that one again. Preparó, preparas, preparar, preparamos, preparáis, preparan. Trabajar, to work. Trabajo, trabajas, trabaja, trabajamos, trabajáis, trabajan. And the last one, which is número 15, tocar, which is to touch or also to play, but only as in play an instrument. Not to play football, not to play a game. So tocó, tocas, toca, tocamos, tocáis, tocan. Muy bien. Okay, now what you had to do then, which I'm going to cover I think in the next video, was because there's more that I want to say about that. In practice B, you translate the sentences using one of those verbs, and that's what I'll be doing in the next video. So, if you've found this video useful, please press the thumbs up. If you'd like to receive the instant notifications of future videos coming out, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Vale, ok, ya está. Hasta luego.